Today, I want to talk about something that I honestly don't really talk about at all ever. Yet, I practice this on an everyday basis, and I have seen so much transformation in my life by practicing this on an everyday basis. You could say what I'm about to talk about next, it's kind of along the realms and lines of manifestation in a sense. And I like to be truthfully honest with you, I do listen to a lot of this stuff. I love it. I love listening to people who are almost a little bit like delusional and they have podcasts and just being around in that energy of people who are just like, yep, I'm believing in this, I'm doing this, it's happening. It's infectious energy, right? Just being around people and listening to people who are just like, this is me, this is what I'm bringing in, this is what I've been able to bring in, and I know with confidence that I can bring in whatever and magically make whatever I want to have happen in my life. And so, what today is essentially about is about connecting to this internal state of joy and trying to build a life around this internal state of joy. I think it is so important, so important. Again, I don't know why I don't speak about this because I'm trying to do this on an everyday basis. I think it's so underrated and underestimated how beautiful life becomes when you choose to feel joy in every moment that passes by. Now, one thing I do want to say, by no means am I perfect with this, right? I am a human at the end of the day, and we're all human. And a little disclaimer, like I just want to say before I even dive into the content I'm going to share today, this is not about toxic positivity. I'm not telling you to never experience your emotions, to never feel sadness and anger and all of those things. I feel all those things. I do. I'm human. But what I am saying through this is, one, you can control how long you let yourself sit in those feelings, and you have the choice to bring yourself back to a state of joy after you've let those feelings pass through you. And that is where your radical magical power comes in. And that is honestly what I have been practicing for a little while now in my life. And again, doesn't mean I don't have my breakdowns and cry. It doesn't mean that I don't lose my SHIT once in a while. Of course I do. We all do, right? So it's not about being perfect, but it's about how many times during the day can we connect to this internal state of joy. Every time I start to become aware of the old stories and thought patterns in my mind, and I choose to not let them sit in my mind, and I choose to shift my focus to the amazing things that I have in the present moment in front of me right now, every single time it just completely and radically changes how I show up in the world. And I feel like on and off, I used to practice this over the years, but these past couple of weeks and months, I have really honed down and really tried to embody it and practice it. And wow, the differences and changes that I've just seen in my life. A couple of important caveats and things to note is that if your body is not functioning well, like, you can't just start off being in this place. And I think that's what's important to understand is, and this is what I sometimes don't like about the whole manifestation movement, is that I think that you have to have a certain level of self-work or certain level of support that your body needs, right? Like if you're not feeding your body any of the right foods, like you're eating junk food, processed foods all the time, you're not moving your body, you're sleeping really poorly, like how can you ever get connected to that internal state of joy? Like you can't. So I do think that there needs to be a certain foundational level of basics of health that need to have been met in all parameters in order for you to get to this kind of place. So I don't know. I guess this might be a little bit like an advanced brain health video. Not saying that you can't listen to it even if you feel like you're not at that place where you don't have the foundations set, because I mean, joy is a choice, right? So yes, you can still feel it even though you haven't optimized your body and mindset fully, but it just might be harder for you to maintain, and you might find yourself being pulled towards the negativity, and might find your challenging thoughts and emotions be really overpowering if you're not in a place where you haven't optimized the basics of your health yet. So that's important to note, okay? Little disclaimer here, getting back into it. So when I have chosen to feel this internal state of joy, I literally am like a powerhouse in terms of the work that I get done, in terms of the opportunities that come my way and connect with me, in terms of how my relationships flourish. Like everything changes. And when I start to really connect with the state of joy moment to moment, like, man, just phenomenal changes I've seen in my life. And so what essentially ends up happening, right, is that you go about your day to day and you notice these like negative thoughts and stories and things like that come into your mind. And for me, I like to say that those are my old stories, old identities kind of coming up. And what will happen is all throughout the day, I'll have these thoughts come up. And as soon as they come up, literally in my mind, I will go cancel, cancel, like just cancel, 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 like literally just like that, cancel. I don't think that way anymore. That is not me anymore. And so it's literally, I will cancel those thoughts in my mind internally, and then I'll pull myself back into this moment. So I'll literally do something as simple as, so for example, right, I'm recording right now. So if I notice those like negative thoughts in my head coming up and that old story showing up in my mind, it's literally like cancel. And I'll bring myself back into this moment and I'll literally be like, wow, I'm so grateful. Listen, it's my computer, right? I'm so grateful for my computer. Like I'm so grateful for this technology in front of me that allows me to record, allows me to connect with hundreds of thousands of people online. I'm so grateful for my microphone. Like, thank you. So grateful for this so that my voice is crisp and clear and everybody can hear me well. Like, thank you. Like, thank you, God, for this. Like, thank you for this desk. Thank you for this like beautiful place in this house that I'm in right now. Thank you so much for my family that's here with me right now. I'm so grateful. And so this is the strategy. This is how I do it. And as soon as I get myself to be in this moment and to just appreciate it and to let myself just feel the delicious joy of the present and the appreciation and the gratitude, it's like everything changes. And then what happens, it gets me excited to want to do more work, to want to show up in this present moment in a more powerful way because I'm connecting with everything that is just so beautiful and good about it. Like, this is how you end up doing it, how you get to this place of like achieving without really changing nothing. It's all about the internal state and how you feel inside. That is what matters, because when you can choose to feel good inside, it gives you the power to take some powerful action in the present moment. And I know you might think that this just sounds hard, right? This whole piece about notice the old stories coming up, cancel, and then new stories align, present moment, right? And it is a very much of like a awareness, cancel, bring back, awareness, cancel, bring back to the present, awareness, cancel, connect with present, awareness, cancel, connect with present. That is literally my head all day long. And here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing here. That might sound hard to you. It might sound hard to like aware, cancel, present, aware, cancel, present. It might sound exhausting even. But what's more exhausting? Because to me, my old stories of my life, of who I am, is way more exhausting to be in. Because my old stories are stories about how I'm not good enough. My old stories are stories about how no one loves me. My old stories are very victim mindset stories. And when I get stuck in those places, I'm the worst version of myself. I never take any positive, powerful action to work towards my goals. And to me, that is so much harder than becoming aware of the old story, canceling, connecting with the present. That is so much harder. And what's so much more beautiful about this internal state of joy is that I'm feeling good. I'm just feeling good. I'm just feeling good for absolutely no freaking reason. And I'm choosing to just feel good. And when I choose to just feel good, regardless of what's happening around me, I take more powerful action. And this is how I actually end up achieving more. The times in my life that my business has flourished the most and I've made the most money have also been the times of my life where I'm having the most fun and joy. So in the past, I always, me and my boyfriend, we will travel and we'll live in different countries for a month. And we did that at least for the first 2 years of my business. Now I've kind of slowed down the traveling quite a bit because I'm like, this is too hectic for me. I need a stable place for a little bit. And so when I looked back at my past 2 years of income, the months that I was outside of the country and living away, because also we had so much fun, right? We were like exploring new places. We were like on top of Machu Picchu, doing all these fun things, going to Costa Rica. The months that I actually like traveled, because I was having so much joy, I also made the most money because I was just having so much fun. And it took away the pressure and stress of my business. And so just a small example of that, right? When we're in this internal state of joy, that is when we like open up just to see how freaking beautiful and amazing life is. And I think that is what is like one of the most powerful and awesome things about connecting to this feeling of internal joy and letting yourself feel joyous, like for anything. Even if your whole world is just crumbling down around you, feeling joyous for like your eyes, I don't know, your hair, like literally all of these little things, because as much as our world can feel like it's falling apart, there's always things to be grateful for. And it's not just like listing these things out, but actually letting yourself feel the delicious feeling of joy and gratitude for these things in your life. And it has just blown my mind because I feel like I've always known about this, right? Like how many times do we hear about, oh, gratitude, feel the joy, all that stuff. But how many of us actually intentionally make this be a legitimate practice where every single moment of the day we are canceling out thoughts that don't align with us and pulling ourselves back into the present moment? Very few of us actually do that on a day-to-day basis, on a moment, like forget day, moment-to-moment basis. That is what is required for this. And yes, initially you might feel like, this is so much, but like when you start to just feel how good it feels to be in a state of gratitude and appreciation, like you don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to the old stories at all. I don't want to live in that space. I want to live in the space where I'm worthy, where I'm loved, where everything is always working out for me in the most beautiful and magical way, because it just feels so good to be in this spot. Like, if my world is crumbling around me, at least I can choose to feel good as it is, right? Because why not? And what's so awesome about this practice too is that it doesn't matter what's happened to you before. It doesn't matter if you've slipped up. It doesn't matter what is happening to you now, how someone's treating you, what's happening in your life right now. None of that stuff matters. What matters is what you choose to do and feel in this exact very moment. That's it. That's it. None of the past stuff matters. All that matters is the now and the story you tell yourself about the now. And if that story you tell yourself about the now doesn't align with joy, find a story that does. And I think what's so important to remember here is that this is the internal state. And a lot of us, we will let our internal state be influenced by our external state. But you can choose to feel good, regardless of the external state and what people around you are telling you. Just because people around you are telling you one thing about yourself doesn't mean that that is what you have to believe about yourself. You can choose to believe anything it is that you want about yourself. And I hope you choose to believe the things that bring you so much joy in the moment that you are in. And this is where honestly it gets so much fun, because I will go about my day, and if someone does something to me to trigger me or make me feel upset or bad, I will notice that old story coming up, right? Because that thing that person does fulfills the belief of old belief, gotta catch the words, old belief of I'm not worthy or I'm not loved. And I will catch that belief kind of showing up and them triggering that belief happening. And I take a step back and I'm like, actually, what do I want to believe in this moment that's gonna bring me joy? And how can I take what they've said and did and give a new meaning to it so that I can feel an immense amount of joy and gratitude and appreciation for this moment? And I can give it whatever friggin' meaning I want to give it. Like, this is how fun this stuff gets. I'm just like, you know what? I choose to give this thing this meaning. Me and one of my best friends, we send each other voice notes like all day long. And exact situation like this came up. And we were going through all the different perspectives of the other person. And I was like, you know what? I kind of choose that perspective because I kind of choose to believe that this person did this and said this because it just brings me joy and makes me feel really good about myself. And she was like, yeah, Why not? Like, let's do that. Let's choose that one. And this is how fun this is. And this is how powerful you can be. You get to have fun with this and choose and give whatever meaning you want to things and people in your life so that it matches your internal state. Because what you've been doing up until this point is that you've been giving things meaning so that it matches the victim stories and mindset so that you stay in a spot of not feeling good. So what's the new meaning you can give things so that you forever stay in this internal state of joy? And again, yeah, you're gonna get triggered, all these things are gonna come up, but bringing yourself back to it as much as possible. And you connect to it by feeling grateful. Gratitude, man, gratitude. Just like appreciation for literally every single little thing in your life is how you will give yourself the space to achieve more in life and get more in life and get to that place you want to get to. If you can't be happy and okay with the level you're at now, you will not get to that next level because you're not even happy at this level. You haven't even learned the joy and appreciation of this level. So why give you more? Why should you get more? Why achieve more? Right? And I think that gratitude truly is the most beautiful practice. Like, it's all about, again, oh my God, microphone, thank you so much, right? Like, thank you. These socks, TNA socks, thank you. You know? It's just, it just changes everything. And so I hope that you take this video, this exercise, and apply it to your life, right? Notice the old stories coming up that tell you you're not good enough, that you're not loved, that this person hates you, whatever. Cancel, 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 cancel. And this really goes back to you just setting a new standard for yourself as to what is allowed in your head and what isn't, right? And canceling those thoughts, right? Because we have a new standard for the thoughts that we allow in our head to flourish in our head, and switching that over to like, thank you so much, God, for this moment that I'm here in now. Honestly, just give yourself one day. That's all I'm saying here. Give yourself one day. 24 hours, that's all I want you to do. 24 hours. Practice this. Practice this. Practice this. Notice the stories coming up. Cancel. New story that aligns with joy, gratitude. Try this for 24 hours and just see how it radically changes your day. Radically changes your day and how you show up. And take note of how when you do this, it feels so easy to take action towards your goals because you're in this feel-good state. This is how you achieve more by changing nothing in your life. This is how you do it. Like, this is it. By connecting with this internal state of joy as much as possible. Try it for 24 hours. And please come back and comment on this video and let me know how you felt about it. Also, do you like me talking about these topics more? Please let me know. If this is what you're liking and loving, I can definitely talk more about this internal state of joy, connecting with it, because wow, does like life truly and really change when you learn how to do this and master this one feeling.